All right, I want to call to order the budget hearing meeting of Murphysboro Community District 186. And Mrs. Hines, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Bain?
Here.
Mr. Beavers?
Here.
Mrs. Brazel? Here. Mr. Green?
Here.
Mr. Brown is absent. Mrs. Ivaldi? Here. Mr. Rungy?
Here. Next item is the approval of the agenda. Dr. Evers, are there any changes to the agenda as presented?
No, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the reason we're here, the presentation of the proposed budget, which has been on review for the necessary time.
Yeah, it's been on display since the August meeting, and I haven't had any questions or comments on the budget since that time. I sent out in the board packet just information to the board members on everything that I look at, process I go through when assembling the budget. Just kind of keep in mind it's a living, breathing document, and changes some of the things that I put in the budget or assumptions I made over a month ago are probably not true anymore, have changed. And for example, our health insurance, you know, I did a worst case scenario for our health insurance, assuming leaving the trust and what that would look like. And now we have new information to present to you tonight that will change that to a more positive manner. So I hadn't planned on going through in detail. I just, you know, would entertain any questions.
Well, that's what I'll do, is just open up the table to any board members that might have a question of Mrs. Bush based upon what was in your packet.
So at the end of the year for fiscal year 2023, you're projecting an estimated fund balance kind of across the board, positive numbers.
Yes.
Nothing that really significantly increased over the beginning. And then of course, as a budget develops and evolves during the year, if a number gets changed big enough, you'll have to come back to the board for
Right.
a revision.
Any big changes, and if we get down to the end of the year and the health insurance issue changes the big picture by too much, I will probably bring that back. But without anything 10% over or under, I probably won't. Some years I have had a lot of years where I didn't have to amend, but the last couple we did. So yeah, Kevin, that's exactly right. That's kind of where we are and what we're looking at. Most of our expenses being in the education fund, and you know, we try to keep as much revenue as we can in the education fund, and then just pretty much the other funds as needed to operate.
Any other questions from the board? All right, then I will move to the next item, and that's the recognition of any audience member that might have a question of Mrs. Bush on the proposed budget. You just all want a signature, that's what you're...
Come on.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the special budget hearing meeting. In a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And folks, we've got about 12 minutes.